Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So I have three different mirrors as lights on me. I kind of like how it looks. So this one's probably gonna die because I think the battery is dead in it. So that's probably gonna go off sometime within the next few minutes. I just wanted to test this out. But anyways, we are going to be doing a makeup and mystery, and today we are going to be covering the death of Natalie Wood because I have become obsessed with it. So it's actually 11 o'clock when I'm filming this. I have already been out and about with my mother. It's Saturday, and we actually went yard selling because my mom never has Saturdays off, and she loves to yard sell, so we took the kids with us. And we found car seats. But anyways, we found car seats, and I've been meaning to get a car seat for Jackson, get bigger car seats for Jackson, and they're just so expensive. I hate to get a car seat that's expensive and have to store it. I just hate spending so much money on a car seat when it's just like, it's so much money for what it is. And yeah, I know, like, oh, it's for the kids' safety and stuff like that, and I totally agree. The only thing is that I have to get two, because I have to get two for my parent, one for my mom's car and one for my dad's car. And we actually ended up finding two car seats. This lady had them brand spanking new. And they were 20 bucks a piece, which if you don't know, car seats are like $150 a piece. So 40 bucks is not that bad. So we got them because, I mean, like, deal. And my mom's actually gonna hook the car seats up in her car and my dad's car today, which is gonna be awesome. Because Jackson is a big boy. I'm not sure if you guys have seen him lately. This is actually in April when I'm filming this, so he's 5 months. He's a big boy. But I'm so excited about that. So let's get into today's case. So today we are talking about Natalie Wood, and this is a very intriguing case because Natalie Wood is a celebrity. So Natalie actually was a child celebrity. Her mom and dad actually, like, her mom and dad were like Russian immigrants, but her mom had this dream that her daughter would be a celebrity, and she definitely made that happen with Natalie. And Natalie starred in quite a few movies as a child. But anyways, they took Natalie to see a psychic. I think when she was a couple years, like, not that old, I think. But they took Natalie to see a psychic, and the psychic told Natalie Wood that she would be a big star one day, and she would die in dark water. Now, I think what a lot of people criticize about with this case is that Natalie Wood's mother actually would repeatedly remind her throughout her childhood to fear dark water, because the psychic said that she would die in dark water, like she would meet her end in dark water, and basically like would torture her with it. And I don't think that that is at all okay. Like, don't torment your child. So Natalie Wood actually had a pretty well-known fear of water in Hollywood. Like, it was pretty well known, and it all stemmed from this psychic and being told by her mother repeatedly, like, you're gonna die in dark water, don't forget that. I mean, I actually read some instances where it said that Natalie was actually so afraid of water she was afraid to wash her hair. So there are some scenes that she did in movies as an adult that are water scenes, and I think people are critical of those because they're like, oh, well, she was able to do those. No, they actually had a double do them for her. And when Natalie was 10, she was on set of this movie, and there was this like bridge that was like rigged. It was over water, and it was rigged to kind of like collapse. And Natalie was terrified. She did not want to go over that bridge. But her mom lied to her and said, oh, don't worry, it's not rigged to collapse. So that's how they got Natalie to go over the bridge, was her mom had lied to her about it. And so Natalie goes over this bridge, and it collapses, and Natalie falls in the water. And it terrified her. Like, it scared her so much because she's like, I'm gonna die in dark water. I've been tormented with, a psychic has told me this. I mean, she was a child, so of course, like, as a child, I'm sure she believed what the psychic said. And of course, like, when your mom is repeatedly telling you it, you're gonna believe it. So anyways, Natalie falls in the water. She ends up breaking her wrist, which is crazy. I'm using the Jacqueline Frozen top coat today. I'm trying it out. I'm excited. But anyways, so Natalie ends up breaking her wrist. And what was crazy is that Natalie did not even go to the hospital to get like any like emergency aid after this. She had to like let it heal on its own, which is honestly child abuse. Like, that's literally child abuse. That's the definition of child abuse. And I mean, she actually had a scar from it that she pretty famously would cover up with a bracelet. Like, even in her adult years, like you can see her in her movies, she had a bracelet over her wrist, and that is why. It's because she's covering up the scar from this experience. So I think that her fear of water is very important to like make sure people know like she had a fear of water in her case. Like, I think it's important to go over her history of why she had the fear of water and her past experiences with water. So anyways, Natalie Wood met her future husband, Robert Wagner, when she was 10 years old and he was 18. And I guess, like, they had passed by in, like, a hallway or something like that on, like, a set that they were working on, or, like, the sets that they were working on for different movies were, like, connected through this. But anyways, they passed each other in a hallway, and that is how they first met each other. And they started dating when Natalie turned 18, and I actually read that it was very, like, publicized. Like, a lot of people kind of, like, speculated that it was fake. I'm actually going to use my fingers. And this actually does happen where celebrities are in fake relationships for, like, publicity and stuff like that. Like, that will happen. But Robert Wagner actually came out and said that he fell in love with Natalie Wood on a yacht when they were having dinner one night, and he said that that is the night he knew he was going to marry her one day. So they end up getting married, and I don't know how long their marriage lasted, but they did end up getting divorced. So they were married once and they got divorced, and both Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood go on to find separate partners. And so Robert Wagner gets married again to a second woman, a second time. And Natalie Wood gets married to somebody in her second marriage. And Natalie Wood actually welcomes a daughter named Natasha. So another thing that I find crazy is that both Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood left their spouses, their second marriage spouses, to get back together. So Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner divorced for their first marriage, find separate people, have families with separate people, and then leave those people, those spouses, to get back together. They literally got remarried, which is so crazy. I think it's crazy, and my mom thinks that that's crazy because she has a little bit of a personal experience, kind of, because my uncle, her brother, my mom's brother, actually married his first wife twice. He married his wife Michelle once, they got divorced, and then they got back together and got remarried, and that's when they had my cousin Carmen. And then unfortunately Michelle passed away. But my mom's always been like, you married her once and divorced her once, why would you get back together with her? And I think that kind of like compares in this case. Like, they married once and got back together, and divorced and then got back together. So I don't know. It's just like that's always kind of like intrigued me. It's a little crazy. Natalie and Robert Wagner actually end up welcoming a daughter named Courtney Wagner. And Robert Wagner actually took care of Natalie's daughter Natasha ever since she was a year old. And actually, what I find amazing is that Robert Wagner actually continued to take care of Natasha even after Natalie's death, which is crazy. So anyways, they were on their yacht, the Splendor, one night, and I don't know why, but Christopher Walken was also there. He and Natalie were working on a movie together, and it was like well reported that Robert Wagner was an extremely jealous man, and he was really jealous of Natalie's kind of like relationship with Christopher Walken, I guess. I kind of like, because I guess like Christopher Walken back in the day was back in this time was like an extremely handsome man, and my only thing is that like she married you twice, dude. So I think you're good, because I think you're good. But I guess like because we actually do have testimony from the captain of the yacht that night, saying that it almost seemed like Robert Wagner was upset that Natalie and Christopher Walken seemed like they were having a great time without him. So there is that. It was on this night that, and it is said that Natalie's death was caused because of Robert Wagner's um, jealousy. So it is said by their captain. Remember, we now have testimony from their captain stating that the couple were fighting, and he said that it was so bad that it sounded like somebody was being assaulted. And then he said that it suddenly stopped, and he said that when he found Robert said that Natalie was missing, and the captain actually wanted to inform the Coast Guard like right away. However, Robert Wagner didn't. He wanted to wait because apparently like the dinghy was missing or something like that, and he was like, okay, well maybe Natalie was just mad at me and she got on the dinghy to go to town because she's mad at me, because that makes sense with Natalie being afraid of water and it being 12 o'clock at night. And Robert Wagner actually is said to have opened a bottle of wine and made the captain actually sit down and have a drink with him. And after an hour of drinking is when Robert Wagner finally allows the captain to alert the Coast Guard and the police that Natalie is missing, that they have a missing passenger. And what's amazing is, I'm trying not to cough on camera, so that's why I keep pausing, is because I'm still a little sick, so I have like a tickle in my throat. But anyways, it is said that they knew of Natalie's disappearance around 12 o'clock at night, so midnight, but they didn't report her missing till 1:30 in the morning. Which is very suspicious when you think about it. It's pretty suspicious. But they did end up finding Natalie's body the next day, floating in the water, and she was actually dressed in her pajamas. And I think that is what kind of like really gets people, is because they're like, she was a celebrity. So if she's going to go on the town to where she might be photographed, why would she be in her pajamas? I think it was pretty much ruled almost immediately that it was an accidental drowning, but not a lot of people really accepted that, especially Natalie's family. But not a lot of people accepted it, especially Natalie's family. because they didn't think that Natalie would willingly get on a boat that late at night, surrounded by dark water, because of her fear of water. Which, going back over her history, I can totally see that. And I think that the family's claims is very justified, honestly. And there is new evidence. The case was reopened and it's been reevaluated, and the cause of death for Natalie Wood is now suspicious. It's like under suspicious because apparently they found like bruising and injuries like very consistent with an assault on her body, not just like from drown, like it couldn't be explained from her drowning. However, no one has been arrested in the case that I know of that I could find, because I did Google this. Like 10 minutes before I sat down to film, I Googled it just to make sure, because I was curious like if Robert Wagner had gotten arrested, but I didn't find anything. Because I know that they're trying, like they did reopen the case and they're reinvestigating it because the captain came forward and they say that the details just don't add up to the night. Anyways, I'm curious what you guys think about all of this. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, all that social media great stuff. That died. Made it pretty long. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!